When she was born, it was just a typical birth. We had two beautiful, healthy children, and Jamie came along and it really seemed no different.
But shortly thereafter, it became clear that Jamie was different. Jamie had been born with a rare congenital heart defect known as corrected transposition of the great vessels.
Her heart was basically inverted. So the left side of her heart was on the right side and the right was on the left.
She was not quite a year old yet when she had her first surgery, which was relatively moderate in seriousness, as far as a heart surgery, called a PA banding. And she came out of it well, but after the surgery, to come out of the operating room and lie in the cardiac intensive care unit at Seattle Children's, and to see her lying there sedated and having all these tubes and wires and monitors and medications hooked up, you quickly realize that life has changed drastically from having two healthy kids to now being in this world of congenital heart defects.
Jamie recovered quickly from her first surgery, and with that victory, the Hannas prepared for Jamie's second open heart surgery called the double switch. After weeks of preparation, the team of surgeons performed Jamie's double switch operation, and it appeared by all accounts successful.
For us, we figured, man, this big journey was somewhat over.
I remember taking a big breath, thinking, okay, worst is behind us.
But, you can never be sure about, how things are going to turn out long term when you're doing such major operations on little tiny hearts. And unfortunately, she had some bad side effects from it that then weakened her heart to the point where she wasn't able to survive.
Losing her made me realize that I just never wanted to forget her. By starting the foundation was a way for me to remember her every day.
When we meet these families and help out these kids, it definitely is a great reward to think that, in her name and in her honor, we're able to help these families. So really, she lives on.
Though she lived just a short 2 years, Jamie's legacy continues to make a difference in the lives of children and families affected by congenital heart disease. By providing financial assistance, support, and hope, her foundation allows families to focus on what's most important.
Life doesn't stop. The bills continue to come in, whether they're medical bills or whether they're electric bills or child care bills, whatever it might be, but we try to find a way that we can relieve some level of stress on their lives as they're really dealing with a very stressful situation with their child who has a congenital heart defect.
Suddenly they have this burden lifted off their shoulders. There's going to be somebody there to help us understand the complications with the heart defect, and there's going to be somebody there to help us if we have financial problems.
Families need a lot of support, not just economically, however, but also from an emotional standpoint. And Jamie's Heart Foundation is an organization that sort of fills in the gaps.
We were emotional wrecks. We were trying to hold it together the best we could, but we had to lean on family and friends a lot for support.
There's no way that we could have gone through what we did without the support that we had.
We had family, we had friends that were constantly able to come up and visit. It's one of the things that I identified, and even part of why we created the foundation was I think we weren't necessarily the norm.
It means the world. It's far more than a rental car or the few $100s that it takes to get a rental car. It means that we can focus on Peyton when he's in the hospital.
It's always about a very deep relationship with the family so they know that we're here night and day to help them out when they need it.
It's coming in and helping when someone needs help, but they also plant the seed of inspiration, and that family will help someone else in the future.
They allow families to focus on their kids.
Their mind needs to be focused on being there at their kid's side instead of on a bill that needs to be paid. And if we can do something to change that, to provide that level of relief, then that's why we did it.